So apart from how it ended, Star Trek Enterprise is one of my favorite shows of all time. Thank you to my husband for introducing me to the Star Trek universe, and I liked it so much based on what I've learned that I wanted to watch the entire franchise in chronological order. I know people get on me because of that, but that was really important to me. But one of the things that I noticed is not really about Star Trek, but how they handle masculinity. This might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but for someone like me who absolutely loves male characters, it's not that I don't like female characters, but you know how you have a favorite gender when it comes to certain things? I really love male characters. When I write my stories, most of my stories that I write are from the perspective, or they have a main who is a male character, or as they call it in the literature world, MMC. But the thing that I've noticed with Star Trek is that you have strong female characters, but you also have strong male characters. And everybody in the sci-fi future, they have rich character arcs, there's detailed world building in this thing, and it never feels as though the show writers are trying to pander or anything. It's heavily focused on the story, on exploration, and on growth, and on what it meant to be human, even when you're an alien, which is strange. One of the things that I have to say when I started watching is that honestly I was not sold on Captain Jonathan Archer. I thought he was very naive and borderline stupid at times. He seemed like someone who had no business being in space, much less commanding a starship. And that's actually the beauty of his arc. He wasn't this polished legend from the start. He had to become a leader through all of his hardship and even mistakes that he made, losing some of his crew. He had to have his beliefs tested and broken, and he earned that respect from people and from me as the audience member. And I actually ended loving Captain Jonathan Archer. He grew, and as a viewer, I grew with him. Then there's Charles Tripp Tucker. Oh my god. The first time I saw this dude, I was like, ew, who is this dude? He looks like a freaking lion. I don't like his face. Love Dr. Phlox, by the way. And maybe it was a dated aesthetic of the show. He just like rubbed me the wrong way as soon as I saw his face. And it didn't last long at all. Tripp won me over so quickly that I can honestly say he's my favorite character in the entire Star Trek franchise. I like Spock, and granted, I only watched the movies and what was the first one I watched? Next Generation. There you go. And started watching Strange New Worlds. So I like Spock's character, but I didn't watch the original ones where that's too much.
Like what? Well,
I just can't with that one. But anyways, yeah, absolutely love Tripp. And the reason why is because they showed something like that's kind of rare in modern media. It's his masculinity.
Masculine? Yes.
And you wouldn't even think about this stuff. It's just him as a person. But now, because it feels so rare to see it, or it's branded as toxic, like, goddamn, this man is like the poster child for all-American, just working class man. He's just... man, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, damn, like, I noticed, like, even when I was sitting there with my husband, I'm like, dude, it is so rare to actually see that in media. Like, I see it in my everyday life with my husband, the people around me, but in a character in media, ooh, it's something like I'll get into what I mean. It's just the way that Tripp carries himself, and it's like, he's not some caricature of toxic bravado. He's strong, and he's loyal, and he's principled, and he's protective, and he's emotionally vulnerable. He's empathetic. He makes mistakes too. He's not perfect. And my boy Tripp is not afraid to challenge authority if he thought something was wrong. He also knows how to say he's sorry. He has a soft spot for people, but he doesn't let people walk all over him. He is a perfect representation of masculinity, because he shows it's not always about dominance. It's about courage and integrity and care. And Tripp has integrity. He has a lot of that. I think he is a wonderful representation of it. And there is nothing toxic about it. And one of my favorite episodes, and I'm going to go into with you guys right now. For those of you who haven't watched Star Trek, you should check it out. Trust me. Especially if you like sci-fi. But yeah, there's this episode in the second season, episode 11. It's called Precious Cargo. And I want to showcase what I'm talking about as a woman, hearing it from a woman, because I think there's a lot of people that don't live as the average women that are speaking and being the mouthpiece for the rest of us average women in society. So I like to come on here and articulate what it is I like about it and what I don't like about modern stuff. I mean, I've said that to death already about those. By the way, that's the other reason why I love anime, because that's one of the last places where you'll see that kind of masculinity in the heroes in anime, and it doesn't feel as though at every turn, at least with a lot of the ones I've seen, that the women are trying to punish men for being what they are naturally. So in the episode Precious Cargo, we get that classic trope: guy and girl trapped together, forced to cooperate, end up forming a connection. And the chemistry actually feels really genuine. I love how cocky Tripp is, like he's charming and masculine, but it doesn't feel forced. That's just how he is. And the woman, I forgot her name, is like Kaitama, or I don't know. But she's fiery, she's intelligent, she's full of pride, kind of bratty a little bit. But here's the thing that I like, right? Neither of them have to lose who they are to make the other look better. And it's very clear that when watching it, they're both attracted to each other. And the wonderful thing about this is that they're allowed to be attracted to each other. I know that sounds stupid, but it feels as though, especially when it comes to like hetero relationships in modern media, the man always has to be super weak, or if he is confident and dominant, he's shown to be evil afterwards. I don't understand this. It is so annoying because it's like, I get it. Let's have same-sex couples and it feel organic. And they'll put that into all the same-sex couples that never fight or anything, or they're always like the perfect couple, but then if it is a hetero couple, the guy has to give up who he is to please the woman. Like the movie I just saw, it's the Together movie, which I did like. It was very weird. James Franco's brother. And it was a really trippy movie. But in the end, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so just close your ears for a second. The guy ends up having to give up who he is, giving up his dreams just to please her, and spoilers, merge with her to become a new person who kind of looks like a female male version of, just watch the movie. It has a great concept, but I did not think it was fair. Even though the guy had a lot of issues, he didn't necessarily like redeem himself. It's just, I'm gonna bow down and just do everything you want me to do and become exactly what you want me to be. He never actually becomes his own person. And the entirety of the movie is her basically taking care of him and him being weak. She still loves him despite that, but she never actually receives a masculine man that can protect her. She's the one who always has to be doing everything for him. And the ending felt like it kind of missed the mark for me in that regard. It's supposed to be about soulmates. They just ended up merging, and yeah, it was weird. But that's an example of modern media not allowing, first of all, women to just be feminine and be strong like the way they used to be written, like T'Pol in Enterprise, Hoshi. Most of the other female characters I've seen in Star Trek Enterprise have that beautiful veil of femininity that when you take it off, all that is under there is just them being perfectly human, flawed, strong, weak, redeemable, irredeemable. I mean, they're human. All the men and women in this are human. But let's look at this episode.
I'm sorry about this. The O2 recycler went offline. You shut up! You're gonna be alright.
So he's trying to calm her down, make her know that everything's fine. She's freaking out. The guy who was transferring the girl turns out to be a sucker. Unfortunately, Tripp is still in trouble. And notice that this woman doesn't trust anybody, and Tripp is like, what the hell is your problem? I'm on your side, you dumbass. He's trying to be reasonable with her. But now they're in a situation where both of them are victims or captives of this person.
How's the nose?
That's it. It's just so we can talk.
So after he gets a translator working and he's asking her, like, what is going on? I don't know why I'm in the middle of all of this. I was trying to help you. We were working on a ship, and then next thing I know, now I'm stuck here with you. Why are you a captive here? What's going on? He discovers also that she is a high-ranking individual, some monarch, princess, whatever the case is. So she's used to having people under her that she orders. This is basically a Jon Snow and Daenerys situation from Game of Thrones. And I like how Tripp handles himself. The thing is, people loved Jon Snow because he stood up to Daenerys and told her, with all due respect, you're not my freaking queen. I don't have to bend the knee to you or do shit. Only for him to end up doing exactly that.
I haven't given you permission to leave.
With respect, Your Grace, I don't need your permission. I am a king.
So look at how Tripp does the same thing. Like, we have that. We had the Mandalorian, and every time in modern Hollywood, in shows or movies, if they do sprinkle a bit of masculinity in there, they'll just snatch it away by the end. Yes, my queen, I live to serve you. And I'm like, ugh, nothing dries a woman up faster than that shit. Oh my god. So I was very curious because this is an older show. I was wondering how they were going to handle this. And I will say that the older pieces of media were doing this perfectly fine and had a ton of representation, by the way, that modern Hollywood would have you believe just existed in the last 10 years because of them and their saving grace.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather take my chances in open space.
It's too dangerous. If you leave, it would provoke them.
If I remember right, this access tube leads to a junction near the shuttle bay.
You are not to leave this chamber.
With all due respect, I'm not one of your subjects.
Pow.
Oh, shit! Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That's how my husband and I ended up married, by the way. Because at the risk of sounding really, that's not what my intention is. I was kind of used to having guys, you know, do the thing where they kind of like worship you and stuff. And I'm aware, well, I wasn't aware then, but I'm aware now, like, oh, that's why, you know, I'm a tomboy. I didn't see myself as a girly girl, but guys like me. Lots of guys like me. It just is what it is. My husband was one of those guys that he was attracted to me, but he didn't give a shit. He was like, you know, I forgot what it was. And I asked him if, oh, could you help me with this? And he's like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't have to do what you asked me to do or whatever it was. And then I think I messed up on something I was supposed to be helping him with when we worked together. And he basically like yelled at me. And the first thing I thought was, oh my God, he's so mean. Oh, that's so hot. But it wasn't just because of that. It's because he actually stood up for himself. He didn't just appease me because, oh, I think you're pretty. Oh, I think you're this. Oh, you're a woman. I have to talk to you kindly and sweetly when I don't want to just because you're a woman. But I like that. And that's what attracted me about him. And that's what I'd like to see and meet it. It doesn't mean the guy has to always be mean to the women, but don't be a freaking pushover. That's not attractive, especially on a man. Women can get away with being super submissive because they're women, you know, we're soft. And women who are watching, don't act like you haven't used that for your benefit in some cases. When you try to seduce someone, when you're aware the moment that you have that kind of power over a guy to do that. And it works. A guy trying to do the same thing doesn't always work unless he's super, super pretty. And I mean pretty, like prettier than the even 10% of guys. He's got to be like a top 5% to get away with certain things. And even still, a woman of his caliber would get away with things way more than he would. It's kind of why society's in shambles right now. But notice how Tripp doesn't care. If this woman is beautiful and she's of a higher tier in class than him, and he's like, I don't fucking care who you are. And I love that. And the thing is, she loves it too, because she's not used to people talking to her like that. Look at her face. She's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do right now. And it's so attractive when Tripp does that. It's like, he knows how to be soft. He knows how to be sweet. But when it is necessary, he also knows how to be firm. And that is very attractive.
You must be one hell of a diplomat.
Is your entire species so ill-mannered?
Nope. Just me.
He doesn't give a fuck. I love it. I love it. Then they land on the planet and they have to survive there. And she tries to give him orders and stuff, and he says no, which as a result causes her to also become her own person instead of just mooching off of and depending on other people.
This heat is unbearable.
It's nothing compared to a summer in the Everglades.
Which is where he's from. I believe he's from Florida.
Hold still. The provisions won't last for more than a day.
That sounds like there's plenty of wildlife. I grew up in a place kind of like this. I don't think we're gonna starve.
So you can also see from looking at the woman, even though she's a little bit bratty because of her station, she's not stupid either. I don't necessarily like women who are super stupid and don't have a brain up there. She's able to think. She's also able to tell him, look, dude, you're injured. And he's like, oh, it's fine. And she says, look, I need you to survive. We can work together. I don't want you to die. So sit down and let me dress your wound, which he submits to her. So then this is the favorite part of the episode for me, where Tripp is trying to like fix the device and she goes out there and like, I guess he told her to go and get some sticks, I guess for fire or what have you, while he's doing what he's doing because he's the engineer. Least she could do is make herself useful, and she gets mad. And just look at his interaction. Mind you, she treated him, he said thank you, he got to work on the little device, and she has this attitude, and look how he handles it.
That's the best you could do.
There's very little dry wood.
Keep looking. What are you waiting for?
Bro sounds like he grew up in the South. Wait, I guess Florida is considered the South, right? But like, he is not taking any shit. She has this attitude. They're both in a bad situation. He helped her survive. I mean, he put in way more of the work. even before they landed here. And he's still putting in the work, and she's finding it such a horrible situation for her to do one task. And she gives him an attitude, which is the way that most of the modern female characters written today would act, and they'd be rewarded for it. Look how Tripp handles it. Look how they handle the writing here. It's such a wonderful dynamic. And I'm not saying all the women are like this. In this specific situation, I'm just showcasing Tripp and how he handles things.
I'm not your servant. You're the one who was raised in a primitive environment. You find the wood.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're obviously better suited to physical labor.
In case you haven't noticed, we're not in a palace. You said it yourself. You won't survive without my help. So it seems to me that I'm the one in charge, the king of the swamp. Now get your ass out there and don't come back without an armful of dry wood.
Oh my god. Oh, fucking hell. That is so attractive to me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm broken or something. You know, like, my husband says I'm broken. But for me personally, I mean, am I the only woman who likes that shit? It's not like... Is it, like... Okay, hold on. My question is, why is it such a bad thing? Women can talk any way they want to men, and she's doing it too. But why is it such a big deal whenever men stand up for themselves or they dare to challenge a woman in modern media that they're seen as toxic? The women are allowed to do it. May I remind you? I just have to keep reiterating that. But the men aren't allowed to step out of line. And then you have these docile men that are sweet, and they're in these marriages like the one in Breaking Bad, where he's being run over by his wife, and the only way he can ever find his balls is if he becomes a villain or something. But here, it's not showing him being a villain, it's just showing him being a person, being like, look, you're being ridiculous. Is he a little bit bullish? Yeah. But maybe she needs it a little, but nobody talks to her that way. And this is not so far removed from reality. They're not just writing it for the sake of writing it. This is what happens. Because a lot of girls that I know, they'll get with nice guys that never give them a word of no. And then they'll sleep with the dudes, cheat on their partners, and sleep with the dudes that do stand up to them and that don't take their shit. Those are the ones that they'll cheat on their husbands and boyfriends with. Those are the ones that they'll say, oh, but I just want to fix him. The thing is, once you do successfully fix these men to your liking, you brand away and char away everything that you liked about them in the first place, which I don't understand. What they want is a powerful animal that they can never tame, but that tolerates their presence. It sounds horrible when you say that, but there is a reason why books like that sell off the shelves, why women are always drawn to men like that. If it's not their money, which kind of emulates that, you can have an ugly dude with a lot of money, and because he doesn't have to do what other people say, because he has a lot of money, she's attracted to that. The resources, the lifestyle, and the fact that he has power. That's what that is. Power that she cannot tame herself. She can have an illusion of having some of it. Or a really super hot guy, or a guy that doesn't take her shit. Oh no, my womanly wiles aren't working? Ah, god damn it, I must tame him. I want to tame him. I have to do that with my puss. That's always what happens. They're mirroring what happens in reality.
I should have you imprisoned for speaking to me that way.
You should give me a medal. You'd be dead if it weren't for me.
I'm beginning to think that would be preferable.
I doubt the commoners back home would complain.
How dare you?
You're the one who took a swing at me.
You insulted the first monarch.
I'm just a petty commoner, remember? Raised on a primitive...
It's so cliche, but it's also refreshing for me watching this because you don't see this anymore. You don't see this anymore. Everyone knows what tension is. Everyone knows what sexual tension is. They don't give you that anymore without us, like, it getting snatched away from us. Just kidding. The dude's super simpy. That isn't that great, guys? Like, ew. Why can't we have this anymore? As a woman, I really like to see this. I don't really get this from literature or from anime. And the thing is, women will complain about it, but they'll still read it. They'll complain, oh, look at what he's doing. But they'll still consume it in droves. You ever wonder why these freaking women are so repressed and they're thirsting after serial killers and stuff? Or criminals with their mugshots and whatnot. First of all, they don't know what a right relationship is, but then you see someone who has that kind of power, and I don't know, I'm trying to wrap my mind around the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing. That's just another thing all of itself. That's deranged. But on a lesser note, you'll have them see people like this, and legit criminals, and they'll be like, oh my god, I want him! Toxic masculinity, but here I am thirsting after freaking serial killers and criminals. They'll say one thing with their mouth and perform a completely different action or say the complete antithesis to that a second afterwards, depending on the person. And it's not all bad, because after this guy gets the drop on Tripp and tries to do whatever, the woman beats the shit out of him and saves him. So there you go. They save each other after they fucked each other. See, she screwed him and siphoned some of the testosterone out of his body. And so we have mutual recognition. The woman is allowed to be frustrated and vulnerable without it becoming a weakness. He's allowed to lead, take initiative, and act like a man without being called a jerk for it. None of them are necessarily made to be small. Even though he insults her, she insults him first a lot of the times, and he just puts her in her place and says, look, I am who I am, respect that. You are who you are, I respect that. Don't try to make me be something you want me to be to make you feel better when I'm the one responsible for keeping us alive. But she's also the reason he's alive right now too. So I just wanted to share that, because a lot of times I feel like when people like me or other girls, you don't really hear a lot of girls saying this. I think more of them are speaking up now, which is good. But they always assume, ugh, we hate women characters. No, we are women. What the hell is wrong with you? We just want us to be represented well. And part of that is, hey, allow us to be human. Allow us to be soft as well. We don't have to be dipshit dumbasses to be written as feminine. You can still be feminine and strong, and you can even have some women that have masculine traits, but why do every single one of them have to be that now? Why do every single one of them have to talk down to male characters, and then you don't give them love interest? Or if it's a woman who's strong, especially if she's not white, like she's a minority or something, the only way she could do that is if she likes other girls. All the straight men are feminine, then you make the gay men super feminine. I'm just saying, can we go back to having a balance where these old movies and shows had a ton of representation? More so than I would say even now, and they did it really well. And just tell a good story with good characters. Instead of everything being about how it's going to offend the 15 people on Twitter that have an issue with this when they're paying money to consume the very same type of media that they claim they hate. No one's saying you have to date people like this in real life, but give us some of that back. Good grief, it worked then. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I know this is a weird kind of video, but yeah, love Tripp. He's one of the examples of masculinity that I wish they would go back to showing in modern media without it being a freaking problem.
They want them rich, they want them tall, but then they crush their spirit small. But